Hello once again, our most developed student. My name is Confident and welcome to the revision session for this N1 paper. And this is the exam that was written on the 3rd of April. And as I'm doing this paper, this is the latest exam, guys, and it was just written on the 3rd. And what are we going to be looking at here? We're going to go through this whole paper. As you can see, the main purpose of this revision is to go through the whole memo or the whole answers as far as this question is concerned. So we're going to go through question 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do question number 5, question number 6, and it ends in question number 8. So this is the reason for this lesson, and then these are the formulas. So that's it. If you're interested in going through this lesson, you need to stay tuned for the rest of this video. Don't lose me here. You need to maintain focus. Remember, guys, your exam is by the corner. You're preparing for your final exam, so to avoid distractions, you need to stay tuned. But what I will always encourage is try to watch this video in 24 minutes pockets. If the video is for an hour, divide it into 24 minutes, hence the 24-minute lesson. Why? Because it is the maximum time you can absorb something. All right, so don't stay long for the whole hour. You won't be understanding anything. You'll just be like a spectator watching a movie. But if you can watch in 24 minutes pockets, you have got a better chance of benefiting from here. So let's start this question. Question number 1. It says here, simplify each of the following without, you see, there is the key, without a calculator by using exponential laws. So the first is 2 marks, there is t's. All right, how could we have approached this one? 1.1.1 here, that's what we're looking at. It says you're supposed to simplify square root of x squared y to the power of 14. It's 2 marks, so it means it is not much of a challenge. But look at this. The moment they give me that sign, square root, let me just take it here. When they do this to you and they give you the sign for square root, you must know what it means. The sign for square root, if I do this, if I say square, it means bracket to the power 1 over 2. If I write this cube, it means bracket to the power 1 over 3. You see? So that hidden number, the fact that they've not included a number there is a default 2 instead of 3. So if they give you n and you do this, it means bracket what? 1 over n as an exponent. Do you understand? So since they've given me square root here, you can come here and conclude to say this is equal to bracket here to say equal to bracket, and bracket you have got power 1 over 2. You see that? And then you have got x to the power of 2, y to the power of 14. That's what it simply means. And then you then allow this exponent, it expands, you distribute it equally, and by doing that you are multiplying. So what you're going to have x to the power of 2 times 1 over 2, y to the power of 14 times 1 over 2. You see what you're having? And then that's where now you cancel, you have got x to the power of 1, you cancel, you'll have here y to the exponent 7. That is what it simple means in a way. All right, so that is that. Or you could have said that square root here, you're allowed to say it's same as square root of x squared times square root of y to the power of 14. You see, it's allowed. Now x squared, remember, is still the same. You can say now x to the power of 2, and then here you put a half, y to the power of 14, here you still put a half, you understand? Then you still have xy to the power of 7. Yeah, okay, whatever case, this was the way you could have approached this. All right, so that is that. Now 1.1.2, we're still looking at question 1. Remember, guys, it says you still simplify. This is now 3 marks. 3 marks, it means a little bit of work, but let's look at this using what they said, using exponential law. So you have got x times, now I want you to pay attention now. Pay attention, because here you find that there is a little bit of extra care that you need to do to make sure that you don't make the errors. Negative 2 times x to the power of 0. You know, they're just trying to test if ever your laws of, especially law number 1 and number 2, the multiplication and division law, that's what they're testing you here. Are you with me? So they say, let's not lose what the question says. It says by using exponential laws. So you need to use the laws here so that you can benefit from the 3 marks. All right, this is a 0, guys. So let's take a few things first. Remember, any number to the power of 0. As we say, x to the power of 0, any number to the power of 0 equal to a 1. So that thing becomes a what? A 1. Secondly, pay attention. If I have got 1 over x to the power of n, and I want to take this to the top, it becomes x to the power of negative n. So to get rid of this division sign 1 over, to get rid of that 1 over, you put this minus. Meaning, if I say to you 1 over, for example, 2 to the power of 5, you're going to say 2 to the power of negative 5. You see what I did? But guess what? If I say 1 over 2 to the power minus 5, you see now, I have got a negative at the bottom. So here it was positive, it became negative. Now if it's negative, it now becomes positive. You see what is happening? Instead of 2 to the power negative 5, when you get rid of that division line, you put a positive. Meaning, that's what we're going to do here. Negative 1 will become a 1. Negative 2 will become a 2. So I can write this whole thing like this now. Say, this is equal to x times x squared. If I want to take everything on top, times, the first one becomes x to the power of 1. The second one becomes x to the power of 2. Remember, you interchange the signs. Then here, that one, you just say divided by 1. They will give you a mark for saying that is a 1. Remember, I said any number to the power of 0 gives you a 1. Okay? Then you apply the first law on top. Remember, what is the first law? The first law says, if you do this, you say a to the power of m times a to the power of n. Remember the first law? It's a to the power of what? If you are multiplying and it's the same base, it's m plus n. Are you with me? It's more like, I always say to students, let me say if you do allow me. It's more like you take this times and you rotate it, you rotate it like this. Look, the times has become a plus. There is that plus, You see that plus? The times has become a plus. That's what, okay, I want to take it back because this was not a plus. Let me take it back and rotate. You see, it's a times. So the times becomes the plus. That's what I wanted to make. So we're going to use the same here and say, when you apply it's x to the power, there is no power there. It means there is a hidden 1. All right. So it's x to the power of 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2. Right? If you divide by 1, nothing changes, which is same as x to the power of 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 2 is x to the power of 6. So the answer becomes that. All right. Now, for whether is the first one, remember that first one here. If you still remember the answer on the first one, let me just do this. The answer here, what did you get? We got x y to the power of 7. You can test these two answers. You can test. So what you do, you choose any value. For example, you can say, let x be equal to 3. All right. So you apply it in the original here. Where there is x, you put 3. For example, let me do that for you. We're going to apply 3 here to say the first one is 3 times 3 squared over 3 to the power of negative 1 times 3 to the power of negative 2. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Times 3 to the power of 0. This is what we have. If we apply 3, I'm getting 729. Are you with me? And the final answer, remember, it was x to the power of 6. So if you say 3 to the power of 6, remember our x is 3. Now to the power of 6, 729, you see? There. So this one gave me here 729 when what? X is equal to 3. and then you get to the answer here. If you put x is equal to 3, you also get 729 when x is equal to 3. You understand? So when you match such answers, it means you simplified correctly. You can still do the same thing with this one now. What you do, you choose the value of x and y. For example, here you can say let my x be 2, let my y be 5. Just any number, you know, choose the numbers. Then what you do, okay, before I apply that, let me do this. I just want to see if I can view this together. Yes, like this. So now when I apply that, let's look what it is going to give me here. Remember, first one, x is 2, so it's 2 times y is what? 5 to the power of 7. I hope it's not going to be a big number. It's 156,250. Look at this, 156,250. I'm going to apply it in the original now. Square root of x is what? 2 squared times y is what? 5 to the exponent 14. It must give me 156,250. There it is. See, you just match these answers, and if they are matching, it means you're doing the right thing. All right. Now we've done that. Let's move on to question 1.2. It says simplify without a calculator. Okay, but now no longer exponents, logarithmic laws, logs. Now how many marks? 5 marks, guys. I'll show you how you can actually use a calculator for this. I've shown you how you test this with a calculator, but I'll show you how you use a calculator here. First, if it's log of what? It's log base 4 square root of 16 minus, so you need to be clever, hey? You need to use a calculator without them seeing that you used a calculator, you know. One of the easier way to use a calculator without them seeing that you use a calculator, you know, you put it under you punch it under your desk where you're writing the exam. They won't see you, hey? I'm joking. They will think that you're cheating in the exam, so don't do that. Don't do that. But I'm saying, if they say without using a calculator, you know, they are just simple saying, don't let us see that you used a calculator, eh? So minus log 2 0,125. all right, apologies for the background noise. I'm just recording this in the daylight, usually where there is a lot of traffic around me, but apologies. But let's get this done. All right, so let's do this. This is log 125. You guys can see this was 125. Now look at this. Now you can use a calculator here, but you need to be clever. The first thing first is try to see what does each one give me with a calculator, and you work your way towards that. You know, don't in a way work this without proving with your calculator, you know, to say, is this thing correct? So take a calculator already and say log base 4 of what? Square root of 16. It gives me what? It gives me a 1. Can you believe this thing must give me a 1? What about the other one? Log base 3 of what? Of 1 over 81. This must give me a minus 4. So it's 1 minus 4. What about the other one? Log base of 2 and then 0,125 and then minus 3. So look, I have got a 1 minus 4 minus 3. This is where you are going to. So you need to do that. Write it in your you know, with a pencil, and ask yourself then, how did the calculator work this thing out? At the end of the day, you need to find out what is 1 minus 4 minus 3, and I think this is negative what? Negative 6. You test again with the calculator. So let's get a negative 6 out of this. So how do we do this? Let's come from here. Now I showed you already what a square root means. It means log base 4 what? 16. Let's okay, without wasting time, I can convert 16 in terms of 4. What is 16? It's 4 squared. That's 16. Are you with me? But now maybe I'll confuse you. Let me first do this. Maybe you get confused. Now square root first is to do this. I told you with the square root you put that and then you say power 1 over 2. Still remember that? That's what a square root means. But 16, I told you, it's 4 squared. So you see how this thing becomes. That's how you do it. Minus, you continue, log base of 3. Now I told you if you want to take, okay, let's first do this 1 over, let's maintain it. Now 81 in terms of 3, that's what your calculator is for. If you check it out, you need to get comfortable with such numbers. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, 27 times 3 is 81. So it's 3 to the exponent 4. You must be comfortable with that. And then minus log base 2. This one is a bit tricky, but what you do, you take a calculator again, and then you ask yourself, what is 0,125? Then you say equal to, look, this is just 1 over 8. Then you say 1 over, but instead of writing 8, write 8 in terms of 2. You also need to know what is 8. 8 is 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8, which is 2 to the exponent 3. That you need to know. You see, then from here, what you do, this can multiply. Remember what I did last time? I multiplied that 2 times a half. It gives you what? Log base 4 of 4 to the power 1. This will give me a 1. Minus, now that's where now it comes in. This 3 to the power 4, take it to the top. It will be minus log base 3 of 3 to the power. Positive 4 becomes negative 4. Do you see that? Minus log base 2, 2 to the power positive 3 become negative 3. See that? It's just a repetition. You continue. Now, which law am I going to use here? There is a law that I'm going to apply here. It says log what? Log base a of a if the number in the base repeat is just a 1. So in here, 4, 4, you get a 1. Minus, there is the 1 there. Minus, you drop, there is a law. Here, let me apply the law. The law of log says if you have got log a, let me give it space here. It says if you have got log, for example, let's say base a of m to the exponent n. So this n, you drop it down, and then you write your log in base a of m. Look what happened there. So the exponent, you drop it before the log to become that n. So you do the same thing here. The minus 4, you will drop it. The minus 3, you will drop it. Are you with me? So I hope you guys are following here. So what will it become? You will have now minus what? Look at this now. Look at this. It's 1. Look at this. The question here has a minus. So this is minus. Be careful now. I have got this. I need to emphasize this. This minus is this minus. But there is that minus. So what do you do? That's where now you put a bracket. You say minus 4. Or you'll have minus minus 4. Have 2 of them. Then minus, again, look at it. You're dropping now minus 3. Okay, now I need to correct this. I think you see what I lost. After dropping minus 4 is log base 3 of 3. Then minus, bracket minus 3, log base 2 of 2. See what is happening there? Then, like I did, you say this becomes, remember that 1? So that will become a 1 and that will become a 1. I think that. So in principle, we are going to have 1 minus minus is plus 4 times 1 minus minus plus 3 times 1. So which is what? 4 plus 3 plus 1, which is 8. I thought the answer was 6 because you know what? I didn't consider, when I was writing this minus minus, I never included those negatives, you see? So if I had done this minus for this one and this minus for this one, it was going to give me a better answer. But guess what? You can put in your calculator everything at once and then it must give us what? Positive 8. So let's do that. Let's put it all at once and see, just to verify. Look, 4 square root of 16 and minus, now we are inputting those negatives, you see, log 3, and then fraction is 1 over 81. Are you with me there? And then minus again, log base 2 of 0,125. Now if you say equal to, there it is. See, I get the number 8, which is what we got here. Alright, so guys, that's how this thing works about and everything. Look at this. 1.3. We're moving on. Write the following in exponential form. It's still logs, but in exponential form, 2 marks. So let me write this thing down first. It's what? 2 log in base y of x is equal to 3. Interesting. This is just trying to show if ever you understand the basics of logs converted to exponents. These are log equations becoming exponential equations. Look at this. These two, you see, they want you to work backwards. Remember I told you, if you are given log in base a of m to the power of n, you still remember that? I said drop the n and then write the log and write a to the power of m. Guess what? It was going this direction, but I can go this direction, whereby if I'm going this direction, you're going to take the n back. It will become what? An exponent. So here, that's what I'm going to do. This 2, I'm going to take it top there as an exponent there. So what will it become? It will become log in base y of x, look at this, is equal to 3 to the power of 2. Sorry. What am I doing here? Log is equal to 3. I did this wrong. Sorry. Let me redo this. Look, I'm trying to say take 2 here, not on the other side. Remember, you are taking it within the same log. There is no equal sign. You are taking it within the same log. So here it will become log base y of x to the power of 2. Now it makes sense. Is equal to, you maintain the 3. Then when you have done this, guess what? There is another law which says if you are given, for example, log base a of b is equal to m. There is a law which says if you want to remain with this b here, you say take that a as a base is still a base in exponents, and that number m becomes an exponent m. There is that. So here take y to the power of 3. Let me use the mean y. Then you express it as what? Or you start by writing this number x squared. So x squared is equal to y to the power of 3. Now you have expressed it in exponent form. Okay, that is that. 3 marks. Next question. Solve the what? Solve the variable without a calculator and show all the working. They give you 3 marks for that, but they want you to show the working. This, it's actually log x 64 is called 2. I'm gonna take it just from here. It's very important. Look at this. It says log base x of 64 is equal to 2, and they say what? Do not use a calculator but show the working. They need to give you 3 marks. It's based on what I just did here. This is the rule. So look at a, it become, you write the b, so me I'll write the 64 is equal to a, which is my x, to the power of m, which is x to the power of 2. Did you see that? Now you ask yourself, from here there is another rule that I'm going to use, but first of all, okay, let me use the rule before, because that's what I'm applying here. There is a law which says if you have got a to the power of m is equal to b to the power of m. Look at the exponents, they are the same. Therefore, a is equal to b. Do you see what I'm doing? Same thing, 64, you are recognizing that 64, you can write it in terms of 2, you can write it in terms of 4, but that was not going to help us. Write it in terms of 8. 8 squared, you see, is equal to 64. And then x squared. Why was I doing it? I wanted to match 2 and 2. What does it say quickly? Therefore, 8 is equal to what? Is equal to x. So x is equal to 8. Or if you wanted to do it the other way around, 64 in terms of 2, it's 2 to the power of what? Let's try that one. It's 2 to the power of 6. It's 64. And then 4 to the power of 3 is 64. Let's try those three ways. Let's try 2 to the power of 6. That's what it's going to have, is equal to x squared. Are you seeing that? Then from here, you could have done this same thing. Multiply by 1 over 2. See what I do? As exponent, because I'm trying to get rid of that square. So 2 into 6 is 3. So what do I have? 2 to the power of 3 is 8 is equal to x. That was one way. Or do the other one. 4 to the power of 3 is equal to what? X squared. Do the same thing, times a half times a half. Then you cancel. So x, here you'll have 4 to the power of 3 over 2 is equal to x. I don't know if they were going to give you the answer here. I don't know if they're going to give you the answer. Let me check the question. They said what? What was the question? With show all working, solve for x. Yeah, you have solved for x. I hope they were going to give you, but you see, this thing can go further because this 4 is same as saying 2 squared. You see? Then you can do this, that 2 squared, and then you've got 3 over 2, sorry, is equal to x. And then you're going to say 2 to the power of 2 times 3 over 2. So that goes is equal to x. And then what you have, 2 cubed is equal to x, and then 8 is equal to x. So whatever case, it was going to give you to 8. So guys, that was what we were having on question number 1, 1.1 to 1.4, 15 marks. Let's continue. Question 2 now. Question 2. That's where we are moving to question number 2. Now, let me tell you something now. You see, 7 marks and 4 marks. You don't need to panic. This is long division, and they like this long division. I don't know. I usually see one variable, but here you guys, they treat you with 2 variables, x minus y. It says divide this by this. Now, let me just quickly study this, because when I apply it, I'm not going to change things here. You study it to say, look at it. The way they have written it is there to confuse you, because they have got minus 4x squared y plus x cubed. You see, there is a cubed minus y cubed. So the way you write it, you must always start with the what? You must always start with the bigger exponents. For example, if I'm going to start with x, look at it. I cannot start with x squared because I have got what? I have got x cubed. So start with x cubed followed by x squared, which is x cubed minus 4x squared y. Then followed by x, but I don't have x here, you see. And then after that, you can now introduce the y squared version, which is what? Plus 4x y squared, and lastly minus y cubed. So the cube of x must start by x squared, and then the x. Oh yeah, so I had an x. Look at this. Look at this. The better thing is to focus on the x. Look at the powers. Power 3, power 2, and here it's hidden there, but it's power 1. Are you with me? You can try the y going this direction. You'll see the same. Power 3, power 2, there is a hidden 1, power 1. Whatever case, you have to rearrange this. Don't try to solve it like that. It is going to confuse you. They said, what are you dividing with? You're dividing with what? X minus y. So let's take this all together and have our long division here. And you know how you do when you talk about long division. That's what they wanted to bring to you, to say you need to do this and then take us into long division, which is x minus y. And you need to know the skill for doing that long division. First of all, you're saying x into x cubed. So you have got x cubed. Remember, x cubed is what? Some of you are going to confuse now. What is x cubed? It's x times x times x. It's 3 times. You are dividing by x. By x. When you cancel 1, 2 will remain. So on top, what do we have? X squared. Are you with me? Then you multiply this direction. You multiply. Meaning, what you're going to do, you're going to put x squared and you put a bracket and then you say x minus y. That's what you're multiplying. then you open that bracket like this. So x squared times x, that's where you've got, now there are 3 of them, from 2 and another one is 3. X squared times y, it's minus x squared y. This is what you write down here to say x cubed minus x squared y. Are you seeing that? After that, what do? You rule off, you put a bracket, and you subtract. The first one will always give you a 0. This minus this kind of cancels to give you a 0. You understand? But use a ruler, use a pencil, because we don't want to see those lines, but it must always give you a 0. The one that is interesting is the second one. Minus 4x squared y minus x squared y. It looks complicated, right? Say, what am I doing here? First of all, look at the variables. X squared y, x squared y. They are similar terms. But guess what? It's better to put a 1 here, because if there is no number, it means there is a 1. So you are simply saying minus 4 minus 1. Guess what? That's where your calculator comes in. You can do it mentally so that you get minus 3. It's minus 4 minus 1, like that. See, it's minus 3 because it's minus 4 plus 1. So you have got now what? You have got a minus 3. Minus 3 of what? Of this thing called x squared y. Please don't mix it with y, xy squared. It's different. The square here belongs to x, but the square here belongs to y. Those are two different things. When you have done that, you bring down this one here, which is plus 4xy squared. You see that? You repeat what I did here. You just repeat this. And then what did I do? I said, now we are here now. We are saying now minus 3 x squared y, but x squared y, remember, it's same as saying minus 3x times x y divided by that x. You always divide by 1 divided by x, where you cancel the first x and you see it's minus 3xy remaining. So you write there minus 3xy. Then this guy multiplies like that everything here. Are you with me? So let's do it. So what you are saying is, you are saying minus 3xy multiplying x minus y. Then when you do, you multiply that, Minus 3xy times that, it's minus 3. Now there are two x's, it's x squared y. It will always give you that one, because if you subtract it, it gives you a 0. Then the next one you must be careful, which is what? Minus 3xy times minus is plus 3x, but guess what? Now it's y squared. Check that carefully. It's x y times y squared. So let me write it here. It's minus 3 x squared y plus 3x y squared. It's not coincidental that you see these things matching, because it means you're doing the right thing. What do you do next? You rule off, then you put a bracket, and then you subtract. This one will always give you a 0. It's minus 3x squared y minus, so it's plus. So it's minus plus, you see? So it will always give us a 0 here. So we put a 0. Then we say 4x squared xy squared minus 3xy squared. You see, same terms, xy squared, xy squared. Guys, are you following? So it's simple 4 minus 3. What is 4 minus 3? 4 minus 3 is 1xy squared. Are you with me? Then you bring the last one here, which is minus y cubed. Then that's the conclusion of the whole matter here. Again, you repeat this. You repeat to say x into that. Now let me take it a little bit there. You are saying you're now here. So what you're gonna say, erase this because it's repetition we're gonna do. But now we are saying x y squared over x. So that x cancels, you are left with y squared. You see that? So here on top you are going to say plus y squared. Then that y squared multiplies similarly. So in a way you are saying here it's y squared multiplying by x minus y. So when you open and open, y squared times x is y squared x, and then y squared times y is minus y cubed. That's what you write. So you have got here y squared x. Let's start with x. Is x y squared minus y cubed. Guys, it's not by chance, it's intentional. This must always be like that when you're working it right. Put that, subtract xy squared minus xy squared. You can see that this thing is gonna cancel out. This thing is gonna cancel out. Even minus y cubed minus y cubed minus y cubed, not squared. Look at it, it's cubed. You see, even here you can see that this cancels, this cancels, because you've got a 1 here. Minus 1 minus 1. Use a calculator. Minus 1 minus 1, it's 0. So when it's like that, though we don't cancel like this, all right, but I need to put a cubed here so that I don't mess up. We just write a 0 down there to show that it is the end. And that was the question here. It says divide this by this. So when you divide this, even if you leave it like this, that's how they mark it. They come and mark things like this. This is how they mark it. They come and mark these 2, 3. They come and mark, I think, this stage. They can mark this stage. They can mark this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can mark 6 and they can mark 7, like that. That's what they mark. All right, can leave it like that. You'll be good to go, guys. 2.2.2. remove the brackets and simplify. They gave you this 4. It's 4, pick up bracket, x squared minus x bracket 2x minus 3. You close it, and you know you always start with inside brackets. How many marks? 4 marks. Can you believe this? Inside out, guys. Inside out. Inside, I repeat, inside out, meaning deal with these brackets that are inside, then go out to the bigger brackets. Are you with me? So first of all, then it means I need to multiply this. You see, so when I'm multiplying this, what do I do? Minus x times that, minus x times that. That's the most important. So it will be 4, maintain that bracket, it's x squared. Now minus x times this is minus 2x squared, because x times x, minus times minus, it's a plus. X times 3, it's 3x. Are you with me? Then there it is, 1 gone. Then from there, it's up to you. You can open this bracket already, but it was not necessary yet, because look, like terms. So we have a hidden 1 here, so it's 1 minus 2. So you can maintain your 4 and say 1 minus 2 is minus 1x squared plus 3x. Please don't add things further here. Some are tempted to say x squared plus x, then you say x cubed. No, you can't add. These are unrelated, guys. Don't add unrelated things. That is when now you distribute the 4 like that. I know it's tempting, but please don't do things that are suicidal. You start to do some somersaults in maths, something that is strange. Don't do those things. Don't break the rules. Don't act funny, guys. I know you are my underdog, but always look at things in perspective. For example, x squared, this is x to the power of 1. You can't add these. It's like adding a cow and a dog, and then you say a cow plus a dog is a cow dog. You can't get a cow plus a dog being a cow dog. It's a cow and a dog. It will remain like that. Same thing, x squared plus 3x, it's x squared plus 3x. All right, guys. So now let's multiply. 4 times this, it's minus here 4x squared, because it's 4 times 1. 4 times 3 is plus 12, what? 12x. Then this becomes the final answer. You want to test it? This is what you do. I'm not going to do it for you, but you can test it like this. Let's say test. Choose any value of x. It may be any value. Maybe say x is equal to 17. Come and put it here. Come and put it here. You put 17 here, you put 17 here. It's your duty to test. Again, come and put 17 here, come and put 17 here. The answer you get here and the answer you get here, if they are matching, it means you are correct. They need to match. Alright. Question 3, moving on. Factorization. Factorization. Let's look at that. Question 3, where are you? You're there. We need to factorize here. Fully factorize the following expression, and 3.1.1, it's what? 2 marks. Let's look at this. What do I have? I have 1 over 4x squared. The way I write my x, I don't like it, you know. Maybe you've got a better one. Please educate me, alright? 2 over 4xy minus 3 over 4 xy squared. What did they say? Factorize. Do you know what factorizing means? Means look at the whole thing and tell us what is common and take it out. Take out what is common. Obviously, always start with the numbers. Look at the top, the fractions. 1 over 4, 1 over 2, 1 over 3. 3 over 4. There is nothing common between 1, 2, and 3. So you take out 1 over. Look at the bottom. 4, 4, 4. You can see that. That's how I choose the 1 over 4. Alright. Now look at the variables. X squared. X, there is a 1 there. X, there is a 1 there. Let me cross check. Yes, it was like that. Guess what? You choose the smallest power, which is x, and this, you see my x now is acting fun. X to the power of 1. You see? You do the same thing with y. There is no y here, but there is a y there. Y, this means y is not common, so leave it out. Leave out y, it's not common. So that's it. Then you do this. So you are having now 1 over 4 outside, and then when you are factorizing, you ask yourself, if I say 1 over 4 throughout here, 1 over 4 will go here to give me a 1. You're dividing 1 over 4 into this. You can divide again 1 over 4 into this. This 4 will cancel to remain with the 2. I'm leaving out variables. I'm focusing on the numbers now. Plus 2. And then again here on 3 over 4, it's minus 3. You understand? Because the 4 at the bottom is cancelling. When I cancel out the 4, 1 is remaining. Cancel the 4. 2 is remaining. Cancel the 4. 3 is remaining. You see what is happening? So that is the 4 part. Now let's look at the x. When I'm cancelling the x here and there are 2 here, 1 will remain. You see that? So here I will have an x here. Same thing. Cancel the x here. Look, y is remaining. So I'll have a y here. Cancel the x here, y squared is remaining. That's the answer. If you want to cross check, you open the bracket. 1 over 4 times x squared is 1 over 4x squared. 1 over 4 times 2y, it's 2 over 4 xy. 1 over 4x times this is 3 over 4 xy squared. It's correct. So that is it, guys. So the answer, what happened here? Okay, there it is. The answer is 1 over 4. This was the answer. I don't know what happened on the other one there. Are you fine with that? I hope you guys are fine. Next one is, I'm still factorizing 2a minus b minus this. Okay, let's remove that and have a fresh one there. You are saying, how many marks? 3. 2a minus 2b minus ax. See how many are they? Plus bx. There are 4 terms. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are 4 terms, and the type of factorization that we do here, if there are 4, we call it factorization by what? By grouping. That's what we call it. So you're going to factorize by grouping. And if you're factorizing by grouping, you split this thing into 2 groups. Like you take the first 2 and you take the last 2. You ask yourself what's common in the first 2, and you're right, 2 is common. 2. Remember, when you're factorizing, you're cancelling, and you're cancelling in those 2. So it's a minus b. Do you see what's happening? Because you took out 2, so you're left with a minus b. You're literally cancelling. Then always take a positive for first. What's common there? It's x. When you cancel the x, what are you seeing? And when you cancel the x, what are you seeing? Write what you are seeing. Someone is seeing an a plus b, right? Is that what you are seeing? You are wrong. It's minus. If you cancel here and cancel here, there is that minus. You see, it's minus a plus b. When you have done that, equal to, you have got 2. Look now, here you have got a, here is minus a, you have got minus b, you have got plus b. So you write the first one, a minus b. If you have been listening to my videos, I said you take out here, you take out here, take out a negative, out a negative. When you take out a negative from plus x, it becomes minus x. Put a bracket. From minus a becomes positive a. From plus b becomes minus b. You just interchange now. Look, a minus b, a minus b. That's what you want to achieve by grouping. That's what factorizing by grouping it does. You write that a minus b outside the bracket. See this? That's what you write. Which is what? 2 minus x. And then there it is. You have factorized by grouping. You can open up this bracket. It will lead you to the top there. But I'm not going to do that. Alright. Question 3 point. There, 3.2. Simplify the following 5 marks. The highest so far was 7 marks. Remember, this one gets the bells. It got 7 marks. But let's look at this one. Simplify the following 5 marks. 3.2. What does it say? 3x. Again, this video, I think you know that I always make it available to my prime members, premium members. What are my premium members? These are the guys who subscribe, will pay a monthly premium so that they can support this channel. If you're a premium member, I say thank you for sponsoring this channel. Your help, I don't know how to express my gratitude, but to say thank you over and over again, because if you're a premium member, you are making it possible for these videos to be viewed by thousands and hundreds of thousands of students who are also doing the same. You help those students. Some of them are not able. So in a way, you are doing a charity work. Thank you for so much if you're a prime member. If you are not a premium member, consider being one. So how can you benefit, or how can you become a prime member? Look at the channel, go to the part that says join. You can join there and you'll see different levels where you can join. By doing that, you are contributing to the running of this channel.